Hi there, I'm Shoddy. Today we're gonna play Betrayal at Krondor episode 17. Might finish the game today, I'm not too sure. I think I've beaten this game once a long time ago. Let's see, we left off chapter 8 of Lands Afar. We're on this alien planet, we're looking for Pug and Gamina, and there's so many encounters, and I'm kind of lost. There was a puzzle yesterday that, I figured out afterwards, but now I can't go back to it. It was like, something about, like, I'm a person looking at the face, but no one at the back, and the answer was mirror, I think. But it's too late now. Where were we going? House over there. Oh, I must have loaded the wrong save, I guess. I think we were in a cave, getting our butt kicked by wind elementals. Yeah, here we are. No, I didn't look up any spoilers or nothing. Maybe we'll go around these guys. I don't think I've tried that yet. Guess we'll just go left. Hopefully we don't have to fight them, or hopefully we find their kryptonite somewhere. That'll be the way to them again. Revealed on the map, though. Way to them again. It's this way. Oh boy! That scared me. He fell down. Up there, they put a pit right around a corner. I think I got here yesterday, but I didn't do anything in this room. Owen approached the slab. He studied it carefully for several minutes, tracing his finger over the 12 unintelligible symbols that were carved into the rock face. It appears to be nothing more than a large stone slab, he said. I was rather hoping there might be something else about it. As prominent as it is, I was thinking perhaps it might have a notch or a groove in it somewhere, perhaps a marker of some kind. The slab was strange, slightly larger than a fully grown dwarf. The stone seemed very odd, and Gorth wondered if it might have been part of some ancient religious ritual. Go around this room. Nothing else. It's probably the same room, yep. I've been circled. The only place I didn't go was over there. Or here, too, I guess. Maybe? Oh, it's back. Alright, let's try not to fall down that pit this time. Hello. Thanks for watching. Ah. Pit. Bad guys. The enemy was surprised. Since all have swords. Use my favorite skin of the dragon. Almost a pentakill. Maybe I should take it easy on the spells. I don't know if I have too many of these. What's this thing for? Couple of Rune Skur. Can I use it on a weapon? No. For magicians. Oh, what am I doing? Uh-oh. Owen trembled as he attempted to summon the powers confined within the cup. At the edges of his mind, he felt a strong presence, as if something wished to intrude upon his consciousness. Only with the greatest strength of will was he able to drive off the darkness within the artifact. I don't think this is the time to use this, Owen gasped, staring at it. Perhaps Pug will understand it. Hmm. Sort of a circle? Maybe? Read to attack. Let's see what this guy's name is. Nethermander. Panathian. Pantathian. Their attack was unexpected. What did he do? Am I missing this thing the whole time? Oops. What's this? One pawed through the thick limbs of the bush. Sampling a small dark berry, he nodded to the others. They're edible. Help me see if they're enough to funnel into a small pack. Some cave berries. Let me go back. See where that other direction leads. Left. Hmm. Just a circle. Where else to go? How are we meant to fight the elementals? That's the only place left to go. Is something in this room? Are we behind the stone? Ooh. Maybe I can sneak past him from one of these directions? This is interesting. Oh, turn around. Oh! He ran. I'm pretty sure I searched all these little dead ends and stuff. Which way is the way out? Guess we'll go over there. Right way? Yes. They agreed to attack. Look at all these houses. Anyone was surprised. I kind of feel bad for killing these guys. They're like villagers or something. Shots, and the other guys just run around foolishly, only casting spells to protect themselves. But they just keep attacking me, so... What kind of food they eat on this alien planet. Yeah, we were going north, I thought. Suppose we've opened them houses already? Where we came from? The bridge over there. But there is the sea. Empty. Empty. People in there. Welcome visitors. Strange vibrations in the air. Ooh, another book or page. Isn't enough room for it. Note. Thomas, I have discovered 2 things of interest which may be of help. First, I have mentioned in my previous missive the mana has been crystallized on this world and may be harvested in bounty from the yellowish crystal formations which dotch the planet. My second discovery was an artifact of surprisingly high order, which I was able to free from a magical trap near the columns to the north. I suspect by various elements of its design that it was meant to enhance certain telepathic abilities, and will attempt this evening to see if it might be utilized in reaching Gamina's mind. More later. Book of Stardock. And the road. If I'm to go to find that hut that was like warded and I couldn't get into, might be some trouble. The enemy was surprised. Am I just skilling up on all these easy guys to fight the big bad guy? The enemy was surprised. Oops. Ran into the bad guys. I wonder how you're meant to defeat Skin of the Dragon. Same with that freeze spell. Just wait. The other armor you can at least smash through. I wonder how he decides the path all the way over there. Goodbye. Now we're going south. Dang it. Now, do we take the road off? Sure. Strange vibrations in the air. Perhaps we'll find something we can use. Dang it. Ditch. One unfolded the strange note. Though much of the illustration was faded, it appeared they had discovered some sort of map. From what they had seen enough of the strange island so far, it seemed accurate enough. Examining the map, Owen did his best to approximate their location. This looks about right, he said, indicating the area to Gorth. Here was the cave. Here we went. Or like this. Well, that's helpful. And one more house. Empty. So if I go back to the main road. Kill these guys and it turned me around, right? Going west and it'll make us go around south. What if we just go straight north through the woods? Crystals. Let's do it. Even Betrayal. Now where are we, Owen? Right, northeast then. Oh, bad guy. Enemy was not surprised. Your slingshot animations are just a little too long to be not annoying. Too many bodies stacked on top of each other to loot. Just a couple of them, that's fine. We're here. Be able to see. Energy blasted from the column. Dazed, Owen picked himself up from where he had fallen in the sand, reaching for a hand up from Gorth. There was this presence that was in the column. When I touched it, I felt as if I would kill every single Panath Yandan on the face of this world, as if I could have strangled them all barehanded, and then the feeling was gone. It's strange you should mention it, but I am feeling suddenly vigorous myself. But what are these Panath Yandan? Gorth replied. It's an unfamiliar term. The snake men that we run into, I'm not sure why I know that, but I know that is what they are called on this world. I touched the other columns. The crystal was cold. Unnerved by the unnatural chill of the object and the blistering desert heat, Owen moved away from it, aware that he suddenly felt very ill, noticing that Gorth looked likewise as distraught. Let's not toy with that artifact again, Gorth said. Scolded. I have a very bad feeling about that pillar. Owen hesitated. Shimmering in the hellish alien heat, it seemed probable the sun-warmed face of the column would blister him if he touched it, but he was curious what materials the glass-like pillar had been made of. Privately, he wondered if the serpent people had encountered in the desert plains had been responsible for the enigmatic monoliths, but somehow the idea seemed wrong to him. No, the pillars of Karzeen were not crafted by the Panath Tiandan. Tiandan? A voice whispered in his mind. We made ourselves. Horrified by the sudden, uninvited intrusion of the alien presence within his mind, Owen drew back from the column, but the intruder remained. We seven were the gods of Demiriana, Savani. I myself was once the Hot Savan, Lord of Gates, but once the Valhero brought their wars of desolation, we narrowly averted the great star death. I don't know what any of these things you are saying mean, Owen replied. I have heard very little about the elven old ones called the Valheru, but beyond that, it is unimportant, Savani, the voice said. What we were is lost beyond regaining, but there is time yet to save your people from the same fate. You have brought the cup of Roan Skur to us, and that is of the utmost importance. The embattled progeny of the Panathians will now be denied access to the hall. We can be assured they will never again hear from their Midkemian mistress, though their re-established contact with their brethren holds dire consequences for the future of your world. For now, you have no need of concern. The cup's powers may now be subdued until the time it is needed again. Since we appear to have done you a favor, may we ask one in return? Owen asked. We are looking for one named Pug. He too has shared a destiny with the cup, but his was a crueler fate. He misapprehended the scope of the cup's powers. When he awakened its powers to seek the mind of his lost daughter, it overwhelmed him and reduced him to little more than a helpless child. We sent him to a structure constructed by the Panath Tiandan. The protective barrier that has kept him within will be removed once you locate him. You imprison him so you could protect him, Owen said, to save his life. An amused quality lent itself to the god's mental reply, but Owen felt certain such feelings were beyond a god. As an individual, he is of little interest to us, but we saved his life in honor of kindness done for the last survivor of our world's Holocaust, known by one known as Macross. Macros? He knew of these events and asked that the one known as Pug be sheltered until you returned here with the cup. Already he has regained most of his identity and memory, but his abilities will yet be impaired for some months. You will also find the way is open to a place that would have gained you your death if you had gone there. The ancient lands once occupied by the Veru during their wars here. There are artifacts there that may be of help to you. You may leave now, but take the cup with you. With it, you may teach Pug the spells you know. It may even be that it holds some greater destiny for you. No. Did I touch this stone? There's something odd about the column. Removing his hand, Owen struggled to find a word for what he was feeling. You know how it is when someone is standing behind you and you know that they are standing there, even though you can't have heard them come up? Smiling faintly, Gorth shrugged. It is a sensation I have heard of, but I am afraid that is an experience almost unknown to my kin. With my kin. Reaching up, he tugged one of his ears. There is little that escapes our hearing. Oh, looking down at the ground, Owen suddenly flashed, realizing how little he truly knew about Gorth or his people. One day he would make a point of getting to know him better. Well, I don't know how to explain what I felt in the pillar except that it felt alive, like there was a presence within it. If only I knew how to reach it. Oh, this is goodness. That one, that one, that one, and that one. This is the last 3 pillars. The pillar was made of crystal, in better condition than the others in the circle. Its reflective surface was not as pitted by the blast of the sands as the others had been. Stroking its surface, Owen marveled at the amount of work it must have taken the craftsman to make. I wonder what this place was originally, Owen asked, not expecting the mental reply, which flooded his senses. You stand in the ruins of Karzin Mok, once the high temple of the 7 gods of Temiriana. Temiriana. Once these columns were only symbols of the gods crafted by the Savani artisans who were the servants of the Hot Sovereign. Now they are vessels within which we have taken refuge. Refuge? What drives a god into refuge, Owen asked. I wouldn't think it would be possible. Valheru, the voice said. But without a true voice, it was impossible for Owen to tell, but there were shadings within it that seemed a mixture of hate and sorrow. Those who were known as the Valheru extinguished all life as we knew it here, using this as a battleground where they warred with all who dared challenge their universal supremacy. Only when Hot Sovereign showed us that our struggles would be futile did we create a plan which we could drive out the hordes of Pantathians and Kada and Zekamati. What did you do? Owen asked. A long silence greeted him before a distant reply came to him. Of the 7 who ruled, there are only 6 of us who survive. The desolation. 2 have faded so far from the world they can no longer give voice to their thoughts, but instead are little more than sentient forces of nature. Only Hot Sovereign will remain, waiting for the time of the awakening. He shall call us when the need has come. We shall not speak again, Savani. Warmth radiated from the column. At first, Owen assumed that the crystal was radiating heat reflected from the alien sun, but even on the side away from the glare, the pillar seemed equally warm. May do I might do little for you, a feminine voice asked quietly in his mind. This much and no more. Suddenly the sensation of heat grew, washed out from a pillar like a warm breeze, shifting the sand beneath their feet and pressing out in the deserts beyond. In a brief second, the wind was gone, leaving the pillar cold and quiet. Got some abilities for that, I guess. The pillar was smooth to his touch, towering over Owen. It seemed to be made of an exquisite crystal of some fashion, but was wholly unlike anything he had ever seen on Midkemia. Through it, he could see refracted images of the desert beyond, but when he varied the angle at which he held his head, it seemed as though he could see other places which were not on the other side of the column. Instead, it seemed there were images of oceans and skies of other colors. Your observations intrigue me. You are Savani, are you not? Startled at the presence of the alien sentience in his mind, Owen shook his head, unsure whether he should simply think his reply or speak it aloud. He decided that speaking would be the safest route. I'm not familiar with the term Savani, so I don't know if I am one or not. Who am I communicating with? Nearby, Gorth threw Owen a startled glance, apparently alarmed that his friend was speaking to the air. Before Owen could rattle off an explanation, the voice within his mind returned. I am Sutakami, mother of the thousand mysteries, once goddess of Timiriana. You have summoned me. What do you desire to know? I'm not sure what you were asking, Owen said. Are you an oracle? No, the voice replied. I may only tell you that which is already known. Though I dimly perceive things that may come to be. I sense you are newly come to this world. Perhaps you would desire to see something of the creatures who inhabit the desolation of our world. Suddenly, Owen's mind reeled with visions of men with scales rather than skin, and large hulking creatures with shining carapaces which roamed the desert. Grasping to retain what he had learned about the creatures as the information flooded through his mind like a tide, he at last seized upon an image of a wispy figure. What are these things I see? They look as if they are made of smoke. They are the ancient servants of Relin Scar, the last priests of Dohat Saven before the desolation. Creatures of magic, they can only be killed by special spells which drain directly from their materiality, their strength. Now they still wander the ruins of Dohat Saven's ancient temple. For a moment the image wavered, then stabilized once more. I must rest. I am needed elsewhere. I don't think I know the right spell. And I think that's it from this place. Okay. Now we have to find that tent that Pug was in. Strange vibrations. I've already been here. Take it I have. One of those is going to be an encounter that I don't want. Oops. Did they give me a map of this? No. So, where was the area that killed me? Down here? Over here? Guess you can kind of see the red dots or the huts. I'm gonna guess that the one that Pug was in was over here. Let's go all the way to the west. It's the right road. Could be. Right. Lock on the road and go nuts. Could this be it? No. Oh, but it's got my stuff. I think I found the magic staff before finding Pug. Where Pug was, but which way did I come from? Akuma was so close, but so far away from the temple. Why is there bad guys? Must have dug these up already, too. Maybe? Uh-oh. I guess we haven't been this way yet. Oh, I bet you I ran into that ancient battleground he was talking about. Come across another magical perimeter like the one we ran across the tent. I get the feeling they don't wish us to move through this area. Feels cow led by a drover. Turn this way and that. There's always the option of pushing ahead. Other than the pain, doesn't seem to be anything keeping us from heading in this direction. But then again, maybe only a warning things come. Choice is yours, Owen. We may proceed south or we may turn back. Either way, I care not. I thought they gave me like permission or the ability to go this way. It's still hurting? Yeah, let's turn around. Did we actually turn around? Check out that tent. You in here, Pug? Oh. Oops. That map is not useful. We're not going south here. Let's go back north. Back to the road, wherever it is. Take this path over. You in one of these houses, Pug. Let's south back to the road then. That's your bad guys over there. Are these houses? Empty. Empty. Bad guys inside of there. House. I already read this one. I guess we'll drop it on the ground. So we've been here. don't know if we've been on the east road yet. B. B. This leads to cave. Pretty sure it wasn't one of these huts. This has got to be the right way. Wish they would have made it like a blue tent or something. I have to check them all. Was the tent off the road a bit? I can't quite remember. I'm going to run out of food. Does this go? Oh, here's the tent by itself. Nothing. Be the one. Go. Light explode in Owen's brain. You defy the edicts of the god of Timiania and endanger the good of all. You both will now pay for your heresy. Off-world for Savani. For a moment, a brilliant image formed in his mind. 7 crystal-like columns glittering in the sunlight, and then paint colors like a river through him, flooding him away into deathly oblivion. Well then. Where did we go? Find that. We just went down the road to the south, right? We went off the road over to there. Then we died when we rocked down this road, so let's turn around. And let's go east, I guess. Not the one. Now we're on the east road. Go north. Come on, Pug, where's your dumb tent? I'm gonna starve to death in this alien world. I think I've looted all the food in the place. Oh. Or these guys got some food. Fun. Oh, they had food. Probably going south again. We come from this way? I'm guessing we came from this way. Bad guys in there. We'll go south along this road. This has got to be the tent, right? That's the one. Nope. I think this is the bottom of the island here. Yes, right. So not here. Can't go this way. Either on this road. I think that's the only place we haven't been, maybe. Oops. South a little bit. Close. Please be the house. There was motion in the tent, pushing back the strangely woven door flap of the tent. A short man stepped forward and squinted at them. Unassuming in most respect, he walked casually forward. If it were not at all unexpected, he would find humans in a strange desert world. Pug, where's Thomas? It is important that I speak with him. He was unable to come and sent us after you. He gave us the spell which you left to him. Unable to come? Why? What has happened to him? He was injured during attack on Elvendor by the Mordel. Queen Aglarana assures us that he will be all right. I can't believe that Macaula's plans would be served by sending you here for the moment. I will have to trust your word. In looking at you, it occurs to me that your face is familiar. Are you the magician boy who came into Krondor with Senor Locklear a few months ago? Yes, and you remember Gorth? His face has been hard for me to forget these last few nights. He was the first tool of McCullough's in this grand scheme. You accuse us of being liars and spies? I'm not implicating you were a willing participant, Gorth. You were as unknowing in your part as I must assume Delicon in his, but when you said he had raised the war banners of Myrmidonus over Sargoth, I became somewhat alarmed. Having seen Myrmidonus' death with my own eyes, I had no reason to believe he still lived, but forces acting in his name caused the calamity at Sethanon, and I thought it possible the Pantathians were once again responsible. After some investigation, I found they were indeed interfering with affairs in the kingdom. They were acting through a band of magical thieves searching for various magical items, trinkets, in no way directly responsible for what was happening in the Northlands, or posing immediate threat to Midkemia. With the issue resolved, I believe, then Delicon was merely exploiting the reputation of his predecessor to gain power. What did Gorth tell you that was so important? It was only after McCullough tricked me into coming here that Gorth's testimony to Prince Arutha took on any significance. In passing, he had mentioned Delicon wearing a helm of black shaped like a dragon. Myrmidonus wore such a helm and had it with him when Prince Arutha cut him down. Whoever had given Delicon Myrmidonus's helm had been inside the caverns beneath Sethanon. There are only 4 magicians I can think of who might have had the wiles to slip inside the first perimeter of defenses that have been placed there. One is Macros, but since he was instrumental in averting catastrophe there, I cannot believe he would be responsible. Another is a magician whom Macros once told me of, named Nekor of the Isolani. But again, I have reason to believe the Northlands would hold little interest for him. The only other who would be capable are Elgar and McCullough, but Elgar has been quite busy with his students at Stardock, leaving your only suspect as McCullough. But why is he doing all this? Why would he be pushing Delicon into war with the kingdom? If he was ingenious enough to get within the caverns, he would still need considerable help achieving his final objective, a chamber containing an artifact of unbelievable destructive power, about which he has been indefatigably interested. I left behind a dragon to guard it, and even my powers would be sorely taxed in a single battle against a dragon her age, let alone one with the special capabilities of the one who sleeps under Sethanon. Once she is alarmed, she will no doubt summon help from a secret garrison of soldiers with King Liam ordered to remain in the region of Sethanon. Soldiers whom McCullough surely would have detected on his first visit, an intense encounter with Delicon's Mordel troops. But that's why Prince Arutha sent us to find you. He's afraid that Delicon is going to have magicians working at the siege at Northwarden. Maybe if we could stop them there. Unfortunately, I'm of no use to anyone at the moment, let alone Prince Arutha. In my blind haste to find Gamina, I used a magical artifact that would have been best left alone. We already know something about it. You said before that you were going to have to trust us, so you'll have to trust me when I tell you I think I can help. Hope for all our sakes that I'm not wrong about this. Pug shook as he lifted the jeweled cup of Roan Skur. Feeling power flare within the jeweled artifact, in ever-expanding circles, his consciousness stretched outward, touched with the minds of those with whom he traveled, finding awe, confusion, fear, pain, knowledge. With jarring suddenness, Owen's mind was joined to Pug's, each dazed by the intimacy of the contact. Concentrate on what you know of spellcraft, Pug thought. I shall do the same. Though in my debilitated condition, I think I shall benefit more from this than you. Owen stirred and found that Gorth was standing over him, a look of concern on his face. I was wondering about you two, he said. How long were we out? Owen asked, sitting upright. 2 days, Gorth replied, smiling at Owen's startled reaction. It was a good thing you both had presence enough of mind to eat when I put food in your hands. Oh, now I got this guy. He's got one of those staves. What's this? Staff of Macros. Staff's appearance was deceptive. On first glance, it appeared to have more in common with a simple walking stick than the Staff of Power, but its exceptional balance made it a superior fighting stick. Whoever had made it had purposely concealed its magical properties. Affecting player statistics. Examining the map, Pug did his best to approximate their location. This looks about right. Oh, he's got his own map. No armor. Gee, should have brought you some armor, I guess. But a crappy staff. Here you go, bud. Did I give him somebody's armor? Eh. Stardust. Creates light above ground. Is a bishop. Oh yeah, I could have used this the whole time. Doesn't really matter. Okay. So now we use the dumb cup. So what? Owen shook as he lifted the jeweled cup, feeling power flare within the jeweled artifact. In ever-expanding circles, his consciousness stretched outward, touched on the minds of those whom he traveled, finding awe, confusion, fear, pain, knowledge. Fear, pain, knowledge. With jarring suddenness, Owen's mind was joined to Pug, each dazed by the intimacy of the contact. The artifact has jarred a memory, Pug thought. I'm recalling an incantation now. I will try to retain the thought. Owen stirred and found... Oh, okay. My concern for your health. How long were we out? A long time. Good thing that you presence of mind to drink the water I brought you. Give it to this guy. Same thing. Oh, he did eat the food, too. Well, do I go back to these crystals with Pug? Doesn't seem like it can hurt. I mean, to infer no rudeness, but where is our destination? We must find my daughter Gamina. In my current state, I am unable to reach her mind. I know not of your travels, but I'm not able to complete my search. We shall continue our random wanderings. I have no desire for our search to be random. Assistance may lie to the north at the pillar of Dahat Savan, Lord of the Gates. Well trapped, I found my mind focusing there. We know of the pillar of which you speak. Then lead the way, my friend. Haha. Alright, let's go. Did you pass it? No. This way or this way? We want to go north. Right. This one. Pug waited. When it last became clear that the entity within was beyond reaching, he removed his hand from the crystalline pillar. Gone, Pug said, either sleeping or died. I can't tell which. Same. I'm supposed to wait till daytime then? Wake up, gods of the pillars. Okay. Not those three. Not that one. Pug studied the column. When he had visited the site at Karzine previously, he had sensed the sentience that radiated from them, but had been unaware of the true nature of the beings who inhabited them. Stepping forward, he made a slight bow. Greetings, cousins of the All, he said. I regret that I did not recognize you on my first visit. My apologies. It was only during my time I was in the tent that the Oracle spoke of something the Oracle spoke of once occurred to me. Apologies are unneeded for such as we, Savani. But we accept your tribute. Your safety was greatly prized by Macros. Pug nodded. He has been a true friend to me. Only as one other has ever been. It is an honor that he prized me so highly. I sometimes wonder that he will ever stop protecting me. You have not come to us to waste thanks on us, one called Pug. What do you wish from the gods of Mirianya? I have come in search of my daughter Gamina, a magician, a Savani by your terms. Brought her here against her will. It is important that I find her and return her to my home to avert a possible catastrophe. Forces are gathering to tamper with the Lifestone. For a moment there was silence, the only motion in the air made by the rasp of the sands moving in the deserts. Then quite abruptly, Savan's voice returned. Your daughter is caged by Panath Tiandan. They believe her an omen that Alma Lodka has heard their pleas and is preparing the way for her return. Is she in any danger, Pug asked? Is there something you may do for her? No, Seven replied. Such as my powers once were, they are limited, part of the price we paid for continued existence. You exhausted your essence when you crystallized the mana to drive off the Valheru. When their magical abilities seemingly began to wane, they assumed they had tapped the mana of your planet dry and moved on. Your speculations are deft, Savani, but the gods of Chimeriania are not yet dead. We will abide until the time comes when we either sleep or until we can be reborn through those children of the Holocaust. These children. Perhaps once they have forgotten Alma Lodka and the rest of the Valheru, they can mature in their own ways. Pug accepted the information calmly and began to turn to leave, then halted. Has McCullough placed any special spells around here? I am very limited in my abilities at present. Seek the old hordes of the Valheru. There may be something to assist you. Farewell, Pug. The Hot Seven shall speak no more. See. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this one. And that's it. Try them all really quick. This is a bad feeling about this pillar. And this will be the one that talks to me, right? Now, we need to go down here. Seek the old hordes of the Valheru. I do not understand. I gather you do understand how this place was not always as it is now. At some point after Gamina is safe, please inquire further. As for now, it is enough to know that when the Valheru left this land, they left behind something else as well. Whatever it would be buried like their ruins, for it to have remained intact for so many years. Must have been protected by some sort of magical defense, perhaps one produced by the pillars. Owen and I were unfortunate enough to encounter a strange defense centered in the southwest corner of the isle. Do not judge in haste, perhaps you were fortunate. We now know the location which we must soon reach. We will be unharmed by the defenses this time. Hooray! Let's go, Pugathy. Are we there yet? Getting closer. How do we get around this? There we go. Our last stack of rations. Under the ground. Oh yeah. Look at that. Valhero armor. Lustrous as no armor should be, it was unthinkable the suit had ever been in battle. Impossibly light, the breastplate was forged from material that seemed like white gold, but was harder than any steel Pug had ever encountered. Okay. Strength drain. This must be for... Who should I give it to? Taking out those elementals. With all the herbs. But up. 100% crystal staff. It's just normal ass crystal staff, yeah. It's better than this one. I could have. This guy's got better casting accuracy, so maybe he should learn it. What else does he have? Grief of 1,000 Nights. Never heard of. Life Drain. Right, does he have more health than the other guy? 67, 55, 66. You want Pug, you can learn it. Pug sighed. Although he was fairly certain when he read the first few lines he knew the spell, he read it to the end to see if there was any critical variations that might be helpful to him. Finding that it was exactly identical to the spell he already knew, he put the scroll aside. Oh well, perhaps I can find a generous shopkeeper more use for it than I. Okay. Have these potions? These potions. And Gorth can have this. What? He already knew that spell too? What? Strength drain. Oh, I must have learned that from one of those crystals. Was that all we needed? Oh, we're going north. How are we going north? We should use, like, the Eyes of Ishap spell to see if we're missing... Oh, wrong button. Nothing. Not even these houses. Nothing. Nothing. We already been to these places? Yeah, this is where we started, I think. Alright, well, let's go to the cave and hopefully that strength drain spell will take out the wind elementals. Direction. Oops. That's the wrong map. Northwest. Is this the bridge? And... I wonder if I should show Pug that stone. Or if we should just fight the beasties. What do you think of this, Pug? Says nothing different. Alright. Time to fight the beasties. Let's not sleep here. Not sleep. But, come on now. Alright, we're full health anyways. Maybe everybody's supposed to have a pack of herbs. Alright. Save this one as buffs. Right. Need to attack. Future turn to attack. For a moment, Pug froze, whispering, Gamina, though the confrontation will be difficult. This was a moment long waited for. These bastards, subservients of Makala, must die, he shouted as he advanced into battle. Alright, so strength drain? Somewhere? Yes. Drain strength from victim to caster. It's grief of 1,000 nights. Opponent held. Right. Do like 15. No, you can't reach those? Okay, I can. Hopefully that's it. Right. Can I attack these now? No. So that did nothing? Old opponent. Oh, wrong spell. I heard him now? No. What am I meant to do here? Final rest. Nope. Evil Seek. Nope. Try strength drain again. Oh, it worked. Had to use full power on it, I guess. Cast it a few times. Wait. Not who will cast from there. Has it got, like, Skin of the Dragon on? Is that why I can't hit it? Okay, now let's try. Hooray! He lives. Makala has many blessings to count. Goreth, see if you can do something about the cage. Cover your head and stand back. Pug took Gamina into his arms, eyes glistening with relieved tears. He hugged the girl tight to his chest, and for a long moment he simply held her, his head resting on her silver-white mane of hair. While he mulled through recent events, at last he slipped a finger beneath her chin, gently lifted and allowed his gaze to lock with hers as they initiated a special mind speech that had been Gamina's gift since birth. He was lying, father, all that time, Gamina thought. Even when he brought me here, he was trying to get you away from Krondor. I know, Pug thought. pushing a stray wisp of her hair into place. I shall have to see you better guarded in the future. I'd always supposed that your gifts would keep you safe from harm, but I see my pride in you sometimes borders on the dangerously arrogant. We must be more careful, agreed? Agreed. Again she hugged herself to him. Feeling her faint nod, he released her and kissed her forehead. Looked to where Owen and Gora stood at the cave mouth. Curiously, the squire was bent double, his face buried in his hands as he shook with violent coughs. I'm okay, Owen wheezed, waving his hands, occasionally stealing glances at Gamina. Really, I'll be fine. Pug smiled. The boy's theatrics were poor, but it was manifestly obvious he wished an introduction before his lungs collapsed. Gamina, this hacking young ruffian, is Squire Owen Belafort of Tyburn. Both he and Gorth have been instrumental in helping find you. Perhaps we should have them down to Stardock for dinner someday. Stardock, Owen's performance faltered at the mention of Pug's Academy of Magic. Realizing his lapse, he coughed tentatively into his hand. You mean the Stardock? None other, Pug frowned as he drew out a small, multifaceted stone from the folds of his robe. This special patterned stone should take us there. But we have to drop off Gamina before we attend to our business. Will we go to join Prince Arutha? Gorth asked. No, Pug replied, clapping his hands overhead. We go to Sethanon. Chapter 9. Mad God's Rage. Lucklier's eyes hardened. At some level, he wanted to believe he'd seen something in the instant of the gate's collapse. It was irrational, no doubt, a vision he had conjured for himself to soften the blow of Patris's death. As a man who had stood against many armies, Locklear knew all too well about last-second visions seen on the battlefield. There was absolutely no chance that Patris could have survived the blast. None. By some agency beyond his control, he turned back the melancholy... Yeah, it's the last chapter. He turned back the melancholy that threatened to overtake him. Rationality brooking his grief for the lost magician. There was still an army to contend with, still Mordell to slay, still a kingdom to defend. There would be time for grieving when it was finished. Such a dumb way to die, Locklear said, biting off his words bitterly. Senior James nodded. He died a good death, Lockie. I wouldn't have wished him for him to go, but he died to save others. You say that all the time, James. But there's no good way to die. They're all bad. James stared at his old friend and saw the coldness that glimmered in Locklear's gaze. He had come to know that look over the years, an expression that had first manifested itself at the Battle of Armengar, years before when Locklear's girlfriend Bronwyn had been slain by a troll. A bit of Lockie had died then, and in that place had grown the seed that had bloomed into a deadly and superior knight. But in all that time, he had never forgiven himself for letting the girl die. You're not mad. Patris is dead, James. Finally, you're angry that you didn't die in his place. Locklear's eyes flashed protest, but suddenly he reached for his sword, and as three flashes appeared in the woods. Spellweavers, Locklear shouted. Disliking the fact that they would be at a disadvantage against a magical opponent without Patris, James steeled himself as he grabbed for his weapon. Pay your sword, seigneurs. I believe it is considered rude in the kingdom to skewer your friends. Duke Pug. Never have I been half so relieved to see a friendly face. We were expecting Mordell magicians. Serani magicians, James, or other magicians trained by a Serani. No Mordell witch could have the capability to make a rift machine, nor would they chance going into battle with such poor odds of success. I still should like to know how exactly it was that Delacon managed to make contact with Makala. I'd hoped that the Mordell would be wary of another such attack, following the defeat of Myrmindamus 10 years ago. Prince Arutha said they hope to find Myrmindamus and free him. The Mordell are convinced we've been holding him captive all these long years. And Gorth has told me. Doubtless Makala exploited that belief to his advantage. That at least explains one wrinkle. The Mordell have never forgiven us for that loss. But why is Makala doing all this? Obviously, he isn't in this to rescue a dead Mordell leader. For the moment I believe I know, but I don't wish to say until I've taken a better look at something. This last problem I will have to unravel myself with some assistance from Gorth and Owen. From here I think we'll be able to teleport into the caverns beneath Sethanon. It is there our objective lies. What of Locklear and myself? Once Prince Arutha arrives with reinforcements, deliver my assurance that he will not face anything magical from the Mordell. If Makala indeed has assistance, they will be uninterested in the prince. They'll be waiting for me. Chapter 9. Mad God's Rage. What did that say? Something... Rubble choked the stairwell. We can't leave this hole just yet, Pug said regretfully, seeing the dour look on Owen's face. Come, we have an appointment with Makala. What are the chances this isn't some kind of maze that I'm gonna get lost in? Okay, we have the same party from... This map would come in handy, Bug Muse, if only we were in a place we could use it. Oh, we ditch it. And... I get the staff back on? 10 and 25, 25. That's better. Too bad I don't have the lightning staff still. I gotta use this junk. Now, do I end the stream? Or do we keep going for another half hour? Before we move any further, I'm of a mind to prepare... Excuse me. Before we move any further, I'm of a mind to prepare you for what we're going to encounter. Located in these chambers is an artifact known as the Lifestone, crafted by the ancient Valheru. It has powers beyond even my comprehension, but we know that it was crafted for the purpose of great destruction. It was this that the false Myrmidonus sought to achieve during the Great Uprising. False Myrmidonus? What do you mean? He was not truly Mordel. He was a Pentathian who took on the semblance of a Mordel so he could achieve his goal. The point is irrelevant. What he sought was to activate the Lifestone. If that had happened, the devastation of Miriania would seem a garden compared to what would be left of Midkemia. The Valheru are dead. What does it matter? If no one knows how to use it, then it can't be of any danger to us. Not so. The souls of the Valheru are bound to the stone, and it may be that tampering with it may allow them to emerge once more. Perhaps even inhabit a living body. Even in a symbiotic state, we have no certain way of knowing what destruction they would be capable of. McCullough wants to destroy everything? He is not mad, but his curiosity may lead to more trouble than he imagines. Hopefully we can find and stop him before he can do anything catastrophic. Why tell us about any of this? I'm a squire from Tiburn, and Gorth is a renegade from the Northlands. Isn't that dangerous? Your stations are unimportant. I was once a kitchen boy in the court of Cride. I trust you because apparently Macros prefigured your involvement in this and did nothing to warn me before he left Midkemia. For whatever reason, I think he believes it necessary you be involved in these events, and he invariably acts for the greater good, however mysterious his reasons may be. Alrighty then. Well, is the bad guy right through this door? There's dogs and stuff. And it seems like we have a whole dungeon to go through. So I think I might leave that for next stream. Maybe we'll be back tomorrow to finish the game. Give it a save here. And we'll save the bookmark too. So thanks for watching, or thanks for checking out the VOD if that's what you're on. Thanks for pressing the buttons like and subscribe and follow and that. And if you want to see more episodes of me playing this game or another game, you should check out the live tab on my YouTube or the playlists over there. We'll see you tomorrow for 2 more hours of Betrayal.